All right, guys, so we're gonna go over the pec deck. So the pec fly machine variation. So as we have Dillon set up here, you're gonna see that he's really overextending here. He's outside of his active range of motion. This is gonna put a ton of stress on the shoulder joint. We really don't wanna be here. So from this position, what we would get Dillon to do is actually find his active range of motion, sit down, just do it with your arms, find where you can actually extend to, right about there. So this is perfect. This is gonna leave Dillon in his active range of motion. Now from this position, this particular pec deck is really nice because if Dillon sits forward, you're actually gonna see that the pad itself is very small. So it allows that scapula to move freely. Now, if you have a very large pad on your pec deck, you may want to use a foam roller or something between your shoulder blades to allow you to get a little bit more scapular retraction in the bottom position. So we can do two different things with this exercise. We can bias a more sternal head, which is going to be the inside of the pec, or we can bias more costal division of the pec, which is going to be kind of that lower outer pec. So to bias the sternal division, we have Dillon set up here in the lengthened position. So at the bottom of the rep, there's a tiny bit of elbow flexion, never a completely straight arm, never a massive bend here. So, so from this position, all Dillon is really gonna focus on doing, driving his elbows or his biceps into the outside of his pec and bringing everything to midline. Now you see here again, we're not trying to keep a really retracted scapula. We want to allow that scapula to move freely around the rib cage. In the bottom position, we're gonna have retraction, but here, Dillon is driving those arms as straight as he possibly can to make sure the bicep's not taking over, and he's driving that bicep into the outside of the pec. Now, a small variation to this movement can change where on the pec we are trying to isolate. So if Dillon actually slides his butt forwards and leans backwards into the movement, this is now gonna change the angle that we're actually stressing the tissue on. So now, when Dillon pulls to his midline in the same fashion, you see how it's lower on the pec and it's lining up with those upper outer fibers. So that's gonna hit the costal division of the pec or that outer lower pec in a better fashion here. Same idea, retracted in the lengthened position. As he contracts, he's getting to a shortened position, driving those arms out straight.